Welcome to Everything Pro Wrestling. Everything Pro Wrestling is a show by the fans, for the fans. And here's your host, Conrad Cushman.
You're listening to Brainbuster Radio.
This is EVOLE Wrestling's Anthony Greene, and you are listening to Everything Pro Wrestling on Brainbuster Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Everything Pro Wrestling. Everything Pro Wrestling is a show by the fans, for the fans. And I'm Conrad Cushman, and we are here today with a bunch of wrestling previews. For the lineup today, guys, we have EVOLE 10th anniversary, AEW's Fight for the Fallen, and WWE Extreme Rules. This has been a week of pro wrestling. You guys are not going to want to miss out on these previews. I'm going to try to run through them, not quickly, but at an effective and efficient rate so that you guys can listen to this, get your preview on, go watch the events, and then come back and check me out for my reviews that I'm doing. And we'll get into all of that eventually. With that being said, though, guys, if this is your first time listening, you just happen to stumble upon this, make sure you click the subscribe button. It doesn't matter if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher. Click the subscribe button so you guys are always getting everything from Everything Pro Wrestling. Also, if you guys have not, my YouTube channel has been doing very well lately. We are on the road to 500 subscribers. I am trying to get as many people as I can to subscribe to the channel. So if you guys look in the description below, I have a link tree for myself. Just go to Everything Pro Wrestling, find the YouTube page. I also have the list of everywhere where you can find the podcast, my t-shirt and merchandise store. Everything's all in there nicely for you so you can find all the links in one spot. Also, check out Brainbuster Radio's links below that. You can catch me every Saturday on Brainbuster Radio. Just recorded an awesome episode with my man JPQ for No Particular Angle. Shout out to everybody at Brainbuster Radio. Excellent, excellent stuff. We're talking about independent wrestling, so you guys are going to want to make sure you check out that episode once it drops. And this Saturday, I plan on doing a Bash at the Beach retro review talking about the formation of the NWO. But we're here to talk about current wrestling, right? So we started off the show with a bumper from my man, Anthony Greene, who I interviewed on Brainbuster Radio a little while back. And what do you know? Things have come full circle. Anthony Greene is going to be on a card right now for Evolve Wrestling. We had just talked to him once he just signed with Evolve Wrestling. And now look at him. He's going to be on the WWE Network. So happy for my man, Anthony Greene. And this card looks stacked. We've got a lot of different things here, and we got a lot of different things to talk about. So let's get right into this Evolve 10th anniversary card. Now, this show is going to be happening on Saturday, July 13th on the WWE Network, and it's taking place from the former ECW Arena in Philadelphia. ECW, ECW, ECW. Just had to throw that out there real quick. So it's going to be happening the same time as AEW's Fight for the Fallen. We'll get into some of that drama as it goes on. So the first match that we have up is Anthony Greene versus Josh Briggs, two of my favorites right now, not with any of the main companies that are on television. Anthony Greene and Josh Briggs, two performers who have come out to my local independent area, ESW, Empire State Wrestling. Big shout out to everybody who wrestles for there. Anthony Greene versus Josh Bridges. I think this is going to be a tremendous match. Anthony Greene is tired of being disrespected by the Evolve locker room, and Josh Briggs is going to be there to try to put him down. I see a bright future for both of these guys, and I could see both of them eventually ending up in WWE NXT. So for the Evolve wrestlers, I think this is a big opportunity for them to come out and shine. And for some of the NXT guys, it's, hey, we're here, man. Give me a shot. Maybe put me in Evolve so that people can notice me more and I get to work on my craft a little bit more. As we go through the card, you guys will see all of that. For this one, I'm going to go with Josh Briggs for the victory here. I think Anthony Greene's going to get put down, unfortunately. I know you're my guy, but I think Josh Briggs picks up the victory here. Next, we have a four-way match. We are going to have Sean Maluta, Stephen Wolf, Harlem Bravado, and Curt Stallion going at it in this match. When I saw these four names, Sean Maluta, someone we've seen on NXT. Curt Stallion, he'll be doing some stuff with Brainbuster Radio. Keep your eyes peeled on that and check out the Twitter. You guys will probably already figure out who's talking to Curt Stallion. For this match, though, I'm going with Curt Stallion for the victory. I just feel like he is someone who could use the win in this match. It wouldn't surprise me if Sean Maluta won, too. I could see it going either way, and Harlem Bravado could win as well. Stephen Wolf, they may even give him the upset win. I don't know, but Curt Stallion is my pick for this match. And I think this is going to be a four-way that could knock your socks off if placed right on the card and they let these guys go all out. Next, we have a special challenge match. We have Colby Corino versus, it says NXT superstar Babatunde. I am not familiar with who that is, so guess what I'm about to do? You guys are going to hear this live. I'm going to the Google machine because I want to know who this dude is. So let us take a look. Okay. Professional wrestler, former American football player, currently signed to WWE's developmental territory, NXT. I'm trying to see if he looks familiar at any point here. He's a pretty big guy. I don't know what to expect out of him, though, for this match that they have announced. Colby Corino is the son of Steve Corino. We've seen Colby around. He's been doing his independence, working his butt off. So who picks up the win in this one? Colby Corino has been seen on 205 Live. He has been out here doing his thing, wrestling, and trying to live up to potentially his father's legacy. In this one, I feel like they could go with Colby Corino here. Let's see what the young kid can do. Give him a victory, and let's see if he can push it on to the next level. Like I said, Colby Corino, his father was a star. Why not? We'll run with it because his name is more known. So I say we give Corino the win here. Next, we have a grudge match with Anthony Henry versus NXT superstar Arturo Ruas. You guys may have remembered him. He came out on an episode of NXT. He was wearing like a gi when he came out, and wrestled in this one. Anthony Henry, let's take a look at what he's been up to. Once again to the Google machine. There we go. Now, he's a little bit smaller than his opponent for this match, but Henry looks like a star. He's got the tattoos, the look of everything else that is happening. We've seen him in matches against people like Jay Freddy for Limitless Wrestling. He's got a lot of good things going for him right now. I like the look that this kid has. I'm just going through and looking at some of his promos right now. I think this guy could definitely pick up the win here. I just don't feel like the NXT guys should get beat in every single match here, but these guys they don't really matter, so maybe it's just them getting their feet wet. So you know what? I'm going to say Anthony Henry picks up the win here. Let's go here with the Catchpoint reunion match. This is a past show for Evolve. You have the WWE Cruiserweight Champion, Drew Gulak, whose name you will hear again, versus Matt Riddle. Bro. Matt Riddle is phenomenal. We're going to see good things from these guys. Excellent match. I predict Matt Riddle to win. I'm sorry, Drew Gulak. I was happy that you won the Cruiserweight title, but I just don't think you're beating Matt Riddle in this. Matt Riddle is someone who really started getting people into Evolve Wrestling. He really has stood out. I'm kind of hurt that Keith Lee's not on this show, but you obviously can't have everybody on here, and maybe we'll get some surprises along the way. So in this match, I see Matt Riddle getting the victory in this one, and hopefully Matt Riddle is welcome with open arms back to Evolve Wrestling. Same with Drew Gulak. We have an Evolve Tag Team Titles match. We are going to have AR Fox and Leon Ruff versus Eddie Kingston and Joe Gacy, who are the current champions right now. I don't see a title changing hands right here in this match particular. I feel like they're going to have AR Fox and Leon Ruff still continue to scratch and claw at Eddie Kingston and Joe Gacy. I just see Eddie Kingston and Joe Gacy retaining the belts here. They have something good going with them as the tag team champions currently, and I like the run that they're getting. AR Fox is tremendous too. If you guys have not seen this guy work before, you're going to be amazed by him. AR Fox is really, really good. One of my favorite matches that he's ever had took place in Lucha Underground. He fought against Shane Strickland, a.k.a. Isaiah Swerve Scott. If you guys have never looked up that match, after this previews, go on YouTube, type that in. Tree freaking Mendes, promise you. I felt so bad for his back after that match. That's all I'm going to tell you. Next, we have a winner-take-all match. We have the Evolve champion, Austin Theory, someone who has a lot of buzz around his name, versus the WWN champion, JD Drake. Now, a lot of people may not know who JD Drake is. JD Drake is a big country boy, looks similar to me, got a big belly, wears cowboy boots. This dude is amazing. He is like a mixture of Arn Anderson and the Great Muta. This guy can do moonsaults. He's athletic. I've seen him do coast to coast in his cowboy boots, but at the same time, he is vicious. He will drop you really quick with a DDT, a spine buster. JD Drake is something to behold in this match. But when I see the words winner take all, who is the one that takes it all? And some of you may be wondering, well, what's the difference between Evolve and WWN? I thought they were connected. And some of you may say, what the hell is WWN? Go to your Google machines and look it up, guys. There's a big history tree of how things split up between all of these companies, and you guys can check it out and look it up. Well worth the knowledge for it. But for this one, I'm going with Evolve champion Austin Theory. Austin Theory, to me, is the top guy in Evolve Wrestling right now and absolutely deserves to be there. And he is someone who it would not surprise me within the next year we see signed to a bigger company, watching him make big money. This kid is amazing, and I'm so glad that more people are going to get to see him because he's on the WWE Network. And in the main event, we have an NXT title match. We are going to have Akira Tozawa versus Adam Cole, baby! And it would not surprise me if another person from Evolve Wrestling comes out, Mr. Johnny Gargano in this one. Johnny Gargano and Adam Cole have been having problems. Awesome heel segment for Adam Cole at Johnny Gargano's family's deli or pizzeria, whatever it was. Buying the pizzas, putting himself on the wall of fame and signing it. And then buying the pizzas, going to Johnny Gargano's nearby wrestling school and telling the kids that they'll never amount to anything. Just a heel thing to do. I thought it was funny. And Akira Tozawa, someone who does not get enough credit for his wrestling skills. I know he's on 205 Live, and if you watch it, you know what he can do. But Akira Tozawa has been amazing since the Cruiserweight Classic for WWE. And I think this is a nice little nod for him to get a shot here. Akira Tozawa versus Adam Cole, no complaints from me. Adam Cole to retain his championship in this one, but I expect a large brawl, fallout. I expect something to happen here with maybe Gargano, and this will lead to whatever's going to happen potentially at NXT TakeOver Toronto, because I'll be at that show, and I'm looking forward to the card. Please give me something good. I have faith, though, NXT, but I'm curious to know what it's going to be. But that will be it for the Evolve card. And I really, really wanted to review this show, but I have chosen to go with the next show that's coming up to review those two instead. The Evolve show will not get a review right away. I may end up recording a little one. Maybe I'll do a little extra for the podcast. Let me know, guys, if you like that idea. But I will try to definitely go and watch this and talk about it eventually, even if it's before a Raw review or something. Just remind me if you guys want to hear it, and I will talk about this show once I get the time to watch it. So with that being said, we're going to take a little break here, get another bumper and commercial in, and then we are going to talk about AEW's Fight for the Fallen. I wanted to jump in on this break real quick to explain what AEW Fight for the Fallen is all about. And I also want to talk about some of the tweets with Kenny Omega, Gabe Sapolsky, and kind of some of the things surrounding this real quick. AEW Fight for the Fallen. This is a charitable event. All of the charities will be going towards victims of gun violence. This was announced back in January when AEW first started. I am absolutely all for this. As I've told you guys on the YouTube shows and everything else, Kevin has popped in. Kevin is one of my good friends who actually was drafted to Lakers Gaming this year. And I just think of Kevin when I hear situations like this. Last year, while Kevin was like first starting to aspire to get into the NBA 2K League, there was a shooting at a Madden tournament, and one of the NBA 2K League players was actually shot during this tragedy. And when I hear about stuff like this, it's just sad, man, to think that this stuff goes on. And I would really love to see an end to it. And I'm just glad that AEW is doing a charitable thing by giving some of the money away or all of it. I'm not sure how the proceeds are working, but they are helping out victims of gun violence. And for that, I applaud them. Now, this comes back to a tweet from Kenny Omega. I am going to pull this up on Wrestling Inc. site here. So Kenny Omega tweeted at one point, and I quote, "If lining your pockets with blood money is okay, then what's wrong with trying to undermine a charity show for victims of gun violence? I hear that healthy competition is supposed to be a good thing, and yet I can't help but feel like I'm going to be sick." Kenny Omega ended up tweeting and deleting that. And he then eventually tweeted this out. He said, "I've said my piece and opened the door to a very toxic environment. It wasn't a message to the fans or the boys, just the decision makers. I wish everyone wrestling on any show that day all the best. That is all." He let it go. Now, today, I believe it was today, Sapolsky actually was asked about Kenny Omega's reaction to this, and he had something to say. Gabe Sapolsky said, "I thought it was a little disparaging to all the work and sacrifice we have done to get this opportunity," Sapolsky wrote. That part was disappointing. We had the date booked before their date was announced. The very first conversation I had with Triple H in 2016, there was talks of doing a special. We are in Philadelphia the night before a WWE pay-per-view, and we are in the great building at the 2300 Arena that is tailor made to go right on the WWE network. He then continues on and saying, "Everything just came together to do it on this date. It's been a long process. I saw Kenny deleted it and tweeted something else, so it's all good by me. I haven't talked to Kenny in a long time, but I've always felt we've had a positive relationship. He was one of the guys I really wanted to push in 2008 into 2009. I'm glad all his hard work paid off." So that was Gabe's piece on it. I apologize. The site had some like pop-ups and I could not avoid them playing. I actually re-recorded this several times because of that. But I don't know. I feel kind of weird about it. Just to give some quick thoughts. I mean, I don't think that this date was planned for quite some time. I do feel that this is a counter move. WWE is starting to play chess with AEW. They're not going to continue playing this game where, we're going to do this and then this is going to happen. And, we're going to do that. WWE knows what they're doing. They went head to head with them on purpose. I think the NXT UK show going head to head with All Out was done on purpose. And I've heard even more countermeasures are being put in for All Out. Listen, nobody's dumb, guys. I get it. You're in the midst of this. And to Kenny Omega, you're in business now, bro. Vince McMahon is ruthless. Business is a ruthless thing, whether you're selling ice cream cones or it's a wrestling company. People are going to go off and do whatever they can to get the upper leg on you. So you have to be prepared for this. And you know what? Just fight back and hit harder. And when people say AEW shouldn't respond back to some of this stuff, I disagree. AEW is going to have to put their money where their mouth is and put on a good show. I'm not saying to take jabs at WWE, but they have to be prepared to fight back against them in whatever way it takes for them to come out on top as well. So that's all I wanted to say on this. Let's actually get into the preview for AEW's Fight for the Fallen. This card looks tremendous and is going to be taking place in Jacksonville, Florida. So let's get right to it.
Everything Pro Wrestling. It's your boys from the Everything College Basketball Podcast and Facebook group. I'm Josh Burton, letting you all know that if you like the college game, that there's only one spot to come find all you need to know.
Yep, Josh, Peyton, and myself, Tyler. We are the three voices of ECB podcast and Facebook group. Peyton, tell them where they can find us and listen to us at.
Well, Tyler, you can find us on Anchor, Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, and all other podcast hosting sites. Also, go join our Facebook group, facebook.com/groups like Everything College Basketball.
So if you want everything you need to know about the collegiate game or have a passion for it, there's only one spot that you need to check out on a weekly basis or a daily basis with the Facebook group. That's Everything College Basketball. Now let's get back to Conrad informing you on everything pro wrestling and the workings around it.
Brother.
What's going on? It's CVV, Chris Van Vliet, and right now you're listening to Conrad Cushman and everything pro wrestling.
Those were two tremendous lead-ins from my good friends at Everything College Basketball. They bring you all the latest in hoops. Make sure you check out Josh, Peyton, and Tyler doing Everything College Basketball every week. They have a Facebook group. It is tremendous. Make sure you check them out. And a big shout out to my good friend Chris Van Vliet. He's got an awesome interview coming out tomorrow with the Young Bucks. He is doing so many good things on the YouTube channel front. Just started a podcast with the audio of his videos. Chris Van Vliet is tremendous, so make sure you guys check him out as well. Let's talk about the wrestling company that's been making a buzz all over the place. We are going to be talking about AEW's Fight for the Fallen. And before we do that, my good friend that lives in Florida, Ice, a.k.a. Phil, I wanted to wish him a very happy birthday today as I'm recording this. We go way back, so wanted to wish you a happy birthday, brother. And I know he'll be at the event as well, so I hope he enjoys it. So this is going to be taking place July 13th. Pre-show is going to start at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the regular show, I got confirmation, will be starting at 8:15 Eastern Standard Time. And that comes from AEW's official Twitter account. So you guys are going to want to make sure that you are dialed in. Make sure you guys are watching it on the BR app or however else you have to. I believe if it's international, it's going to be on Fight TV. It's the exact same way that it was when we had the last show that just happened, Fighter Fest. So however you had to watch it then, it's probably the exact same thing again. This is it. This is the last show before All Out. So I'm going to be interested to see what they do as far as build up and everything else that they have planned right now. So looking at this card, not a very big card, but this isn't a pay-per-view quality card. This is going to be what maybe we would expect to see from a house show, but who knows at this point. So while looking at this, first, big shout out to my man Connor from Connor Knows Wrestling. He sent me an image. Chris Jericho is set to appear at the event, but it is now said he will have a live microphone in his hand. So who knows what Chris Jericho is bound to say, what he's going to do. He is in the match to crown the first AEW World Heavyweight Champion at All Out. He'll be facing Adam Hangman Page. So it's good to know that Chris Jericho will be wrestling soon for us again, especially for that AEW World Heavyweight title. But he's going to be on this show talking to smack, and I'm sure we're going to get some build up for that match. Let's get into the first match here. We have Pentagon Jr. and Phoenix, the Lucha Bros, versus SCU. And it will be Scorpio Sky and Frankie Kazarian representing SCU. Interesting matchup we got here. Lots of things are on the line here. The tag division is really heating up. Rumors that we will have a tag team tournament coming soon to crown tag team champions once television starts in October. What do we do from here? Pentagon Jr. and Phoenix versus Scorpio Sky and Frankie Kazarian. Pentagon Jr. and Phoenix have not gotten a win yet over the Young Bucks on AEW television. They have beaten them on AAA, though. And I'm sure it's the exact opposite when they wrestle there. Scorpio Sky and Frankie Kazarian have been performing. They have picked up a win. They're split right now. But I think Pentagon Jr. and Phoenix really need this win here. So they are my prediction to win this match. The Lucha Bros are going to come out strong. And a lot of people are showing love to them. Queen from Brainbuster Radio put up, who would you want as your AEW champions? And she put kind of a list together and threw in even an open weight title for it. And I saw a lot of Pentagon and Phoenix. So there are a lot of fans for them. So I'm predicting them to win because of that today. We also have what appears to be a 6-man tag match. We are going to have the team of MJF, Shawn Spears, and Sammy Guevara. That is a very interesting team. Douchey heels right there all the way. Versus Joey Janela, Darby Allin, and Jimmy Havoc. Team, I don't care about my body. So this is going to be a train wreck, in my opinion. MJF has no losses at this point. He hasn't really lost anything as an official match. He's been in 4-ways, battle royals. So we'll see what they do with this one. Shawn Spears, same thing. He's been in battle royals. I'm curious to know what happens with him and Cody after that chair shot. And Sammy Guevara, he has one loss because he lost to Kip Sabian, but okay. Joey Janela lost to Jon Moxley at the last show. Oh my goodness, what a brutal match. Joey Janela getting slammed onto those thumbtacks is scary as hell. And I want to say, Joey Janela flying off that ladder looked like Shawn Michaels, man. Got to give him his props where it's due. Joey Janela, be safe, brother. Be safe. And I can't wait for Tone Loc to perform, man, at your party. Darby Allin. God, this guy really impressed me at the last show. I had not seen too much of Darby Allin. I've seen him in like matches on YouTube, but him and Cody's match really impressed me. This dude can take a beating. So it'll be interesting to see what he does. And we all know about Jimmy effing Havoc. In this match, I'm going to go with Janela, Allin, and Havoc for the victory here. I just feel like these three are locked in. They need a victory. Joey Janela has sacrificed, Darby Allin has sacrificed, and Jimmy Havoc has sacrificed. Let these guys get a victory here. I still think that Sammy Guevara is going to eat the pen for this one. Shawn Spears and MJF kind of remain undefeated. They can kind of say, hey, listen, I haven't been pinned yet. So we got a lot of good things here for that. So, and it gives a much needed victory to Joey Janela, Darby Allin, and Jimmy Havoc. Next up, we have Adam Hangman Page versus Kip Sabian. Kip, I enjoy your matches, bro, but I'm not betting against the Hangman, not until All Out at least. Hangman Page is my prediction to win this one. I think that he is going to come out there and show everybody what he's made of. Hangman Page is someone who is really good and someone who was slept on for quite some time. Even by me, man. I'll admit it. When I first saw Adam Page, I was just like, okay. And he was all right, but he has grown into such a great performer that I'm happy to see his success right now. And yeah, hopefully him and MJF don't have any interactions because I don't want to hear any I like horses. I can't with those dudes. That's a match waiting to happen as well. Hangman Page for the victory in this one. We are going to also have Brandi Rhodes versus Allie. They've been building this one up for a couple months now. This was, I think, the second or third match announced for this card that I can recall. Brandi versus Allie should be something to behold here. Allie just picked up a victory over Leva Bates, the librarian. Brandi Rhodes is my prediction for this one, though. I think they're telling such a great story with Brandi and her figure skating. If you have not watched that Road to Fight for the Fallen, I believe it's the second episode, go back and check it out. Brandi Rhodes did a really good job telling her story. Even if she drummed it up to extra level, very, very good acting in that. And maybe it's not acting, maybe it's real. I don't know, but Brandi Rhodes sold me on that, and I really feel for her, and I think it's a great story for her to win the big one here. She has busted her ass and trained for years and never really got the shot to show what she could do in WWE, and now she's going to get the shot here. So good stuff for Brandi. Next, we have Kenny Omega versus CIMA. CIMA versus Daniels last time was just a solid average match. I want to really see what CIMA can do, and I think Kenny Omega is the guy to bring it out of him. Kenny Omega knows all the styles. Kenny Omega is a big fan of the Joshi wrestling that he's been bringing to AEW, and I really feel that Kenny Omega is going to do his thing on this match, and I think Kenny Omega is going to win. One Winged Angel, obviously, for the dub, but Kenny Omega and CIMA are going to I want to see something more from CIMA. This is more of a, I'm watching CIMA more than anything else. And don't be surprised if we see maybe an appearance from Jon Moxley. Don't know if he's wrestling in the G1 Climax that night, but hey, maybe Moxley shows up to get some revenge on Omega. Who knows what will happen with this? And then we will have in the main event, in my prediction, it's going to be Cody Rhodes and his brother Dustin versus the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson. The Young Bucks have been making fun of them constantly on being the elite with the blood all over them. I don't need a friend. I don't need a partner. I need my older brother. And then these two start hugging and fake crying. It's absolutely freaking crazy how they do it. But I like the fact that they're going to have matches against each other. You can't have these guys be friends all the time and, they would team up against everybody and form the Super Friends. So Cody Rhodes and Dustin Rhodes versus the Young Bucks is going to be a tremendous match. And I think they're going to tear down the house with this one. I can see some really good stuff happening with this. My prediction for this one is that the victory is going to go to the Young Bucks. As much as I would love to see Cody and Dustin pick up the win here, I feel like the Young Bucks are going to get the victory unless it ends in some type of schmoz, because Cody's already feuding with Shawn Spears, and I predict that's going to be the match at All Out. Young Bucks are going to be involved in like the tag team tournament scene. So we got to keep the Young Bucks strong, because I assume they're going to be a favorite to go in and win the tag titles for the first time. And Dustin Rhodes is out to prove that he can still hang with a lot of the young cats, and I think he can. Dustin has been one of the best performers. Like I said, ever since I've been seeing him come back, he slimmed down a couple years ago. He had one of my favorite recent matches in company history for WWE. That match with the Shield versus the Rhodes family, absolutely love it. Hopefully I get to review it one day for you guys and tell you about my live experience being there. Good stuff. So my prediction for this match is the Young Bucks. But this card looks tremendous. I am still looking forward to All Out. Trust me, guys, you know how I do it. I will have a review up for this show afterwards. And I don't know. I'm a fan of what AEW is doing. I've been interested in their product, and they're doing a good job keeping me interested. I know that they're trying to build up all these shows, and this is leading to the television deal in October, and I can't wait to see what happens once they're on TV for TNT. I'm looking forward to a video game. AEW's got my attention right now. So is everything perfect? Absolutely not. Nothing is perfect. They've got some camera stuff they need to work on, commentary issues. But at the same time, commentary does have their moments where they shine, and I have to give them their props. Cameramen are trying to do something different. I just want things to keep improving. They've only ran technically 3 shows, after this one. So let's see what they can do. AEW, keep doing your thing. I'm happy for you guys. And with that being said, guys, we are going to move on to the final preview of this podcast, WWE Extreme Rules.
Yo, what is good, everybody? This is your man, Montez Scott, Mr. Move Like a Thief of the Night, the Titan, theme song maker, podcast host, and you are listening to Everything Pro Wrestling. Salute.
Big shout out to my boy Teasy of the Swerve City podcast. Absolutely love the music content, bro. Keep pushing it out there. But we have come to the last preview of this episode, and it's going to be for WWE Extreme Rules. Now, I held off on doing this. I am recording this right after SmackDown, and SmackDown gave me some hope for some matches that I didn't have. And some of them I'm still feeling kind of about, so we'll see what happens here. But let's go through the card. We just had added the Revival, Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder versus the Usos for the Raw Tag Team Championships here. I don't know where they're going with this right now with the Revival on their way up, but I am going to predict that the Usos win the Raw Tag Team titles. I don't know why I'm feeling this way, but I feel like a title change is going to happen for right now. I feel like they're going to shake things up with the Usos, the tag teams, and the rosters and everything else. And we don't know what the Revival's doing and how long they're going to be in WWE for at this point. So I felt kind of weird that they gave them the tag belts, but I was happy that they did. But now that it's going in a different direction, possibly the next night, we'll have to wait and see what happens with it. So give me the Usos for the win on that one. In a last man standing match, Braun Strowman versus Bobby Lashley. Now, if you guys saw that match, I really thought that this moment helped kickstart Raw back into a better direction. It was one of the better shows in quite some time, and I'll say this, it was okay. I'm not saying it's a great show. I'm not even saying it's a good show. It was okay. It's better than what we've been getting. If I was giving letter grades to Raw, I've been seeing a lot of D's and a lot of F's. This show was like a C+. It was okay. So what are we going to see in this one? I feel like what the dirt sheets have been kind of saying, and I normally don't bring this up, and he would be my pick anyway. Braun Strowman's my pick, by the way. I feel like there is going to be a renewed focus on him because if you had Braun Strowman, you realize this guy can be a star. You have to figure out a way to use him properly. And he is a monster. He is a beast. And you could really take advantage of who he is. Bobby Lashley, I think he's just in the role he's going to be in. He's going to be an upper mid-card player. You could always throw a mid-card title on him. And Lashley is a physical specimen. And you could probably even let him main event occasionally if you wanted to. But for where we're at right now, I think Braun Strowman needs to win a little bit more than Bobby Lashley. Moving up here on the card, we will have for the United States Championship, Ricochet versus a newly turned heel, AJ Styles. This match could be a lot of fun, especially if they actually let them go out there and just go. I wish we could have seen this match, I don't know, like 9 years ago. Could you just imagine Ricochet bouncing all around the ring with AJ Styles, and AJ Styles could move? But I think they're going to slow this match down a little bit, and the object here is to tell a good story, and I feel like Ricochet needs to come out on top in some sort of way. Whether it's looking good from a loss or something, Ricochet has to come out looking good. In this match, you know what? I'm going to say Ricochet wins this match. It's going to be a big upset for him. It wouldn't surprise me if AJ won it all, though, but he would have to use some heelish ways from the club. But I feel like who's going to have Ricochet's back against them? Is it the Street Profits? Is it another tag team? Could AOP come out and help him? I don't know where we're going with this. It's interesting, though, right now for what they have going on, and I just hope that we get a really good match out of this. But my final prediction is Ricochet will retain his United States Championship and pick up the win over AJ Styles. Next, Aleister Black finally gets his match. Aleister Black, for weeks, has been cutting these promos backstage, sitting on a chair in a dark room, asking, who is going to knock at my door? And he finally got his answer on SmackDown tonight. It was a man in a white suit who circled around the chair, and when he sat down, we saw the braces, we saw the mouthpiece. It was Cesaro. I think this is going to be a good match, too. I'm kind of hyped for it because these are two tremendous performers, and I really think that they're going to go at it, and they're just going to fight, man. Who needs to win more here, though? They've been building Cesaro up so well, and I had my hopes high for him, but now he's going against Aleister Black, someone who really can't afford a loss. I think a loss doesn't hurt Cesaro here as much as it would hurt Black because they've been hyping him up more. So I think you give this match a good showing and have Aleister Black defeat Cesaro. We get into a match that caught my eye again tonight. We have Daniel Bryan and Rowan, the tag team champions of the planet, versus the New Day, Big E and Xavier Woods versus Otis and Tucker, Heavy Machinery. Good promo tonight. Big Otis really impressed me in the ring as well. He had some funny moments too, but when he hit that double suplex on Bryan and Xavier Woods, really good stuff. In the end, though, Heavy Machinery ended up picking up the victory in this singles triple threat match, if that makes any sense, with Otis, Xavier, and Bryan. So what happens now with all of this? I I really don't feel like the New Day need the tag team titles again. They've held it 5 times. Number 6 is just going to have to wait, like they said tonight. Heavy Machinery. I can't see them giving the belts to them either. I feel like Daniel Bryan and Rowan are going to be fine as the tag team champs for a little bit until you get some credible teams back in there. Let Bryan and Rowan run with it. You get Bryan on TV a lot, and you can save him up, protect him in tag matches, and Rowan gets TV time. New Day have Kofi. Heavy Machinery may hurt from this a little bit, but I think that maybe you have someone from New Day eat the pinfall. So I'm going to go with Bryan and Rowan to retain the tag team titles. Next, a name that I said we would hear again, Drew Gulak, who was going to be wrestling on the Evolve show as well Saturday, is going to be taking on Tony Nese. Hopefully they bring up on commentary that Drew Gulak had to wrestle 2 matches in 2 days. Drew Gulak and Tony Nese, I really haven't been watching 205 Live. I don't know what's been going on. Drew Gulak, to me, is a Dean Malenko type wrestler. He's no nonsense. He goes in there, he gets it done. He has a lot of moves, a lot of holds, and a lot of really good submissions, especially the Gulak. Let this guy go out there and do his thing. No offense to Tony Nese, but Tony Nese, I thought he was someone who WWE was looking for, but they really didn't do too much with him, and there wasn't a lot of hype around him from when they started. So I say you go with Drew Gulak for the victory here, and that should be the end of it. I mean, Drew Gulak wins, and then we got to find a new contender for him to face off with. Next, we have for the SmackDown Live Women's Championship, we're going to have the champion Bayley versus Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. I smell a lot of funniness possibly happening in this match. So Bayley is out there 2-on-1. Let's call the elephant in the room right now to the front. Is Sasha Banks going to show up for this? Maybe. Maybe she does. Maybe she doesn't. Who knows where Sasha's been? Rumors are that she's been filming for a video game. Other people are saying that she's been looking at other prospects. Some people are saying she's not coming back. She's writing out her contract. We don't know. And maybe writing out your contract will make this go even longer. So who knows if Sasha comes back. If she does, I want Sasha and Bayley for a match. We need to have this happen. Hopefully in Toronto. Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, though, I feel like we need to do some storytelling here. Whether they cost each other the match, there's an error, a blip in the system. Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, this storyline needs to advance. I don't know what's going on with the weird friendship thing. We need to figure out who's going to turn on who between these two. Are you going to make Alexa the babyface and Nikki the crazy heel? Or Nikki the babyface? I feel like Nikki is more so the babyface than Alexa at this point. Alexa's always felt like she's the one using people. So what if you have Alexa kind of turn on her and blame her for the loss? Like maybe Nikki gets rolled up in this and Bayley gets the win. You could do something like that. So I'm going to predict Bayley to retain in a 2-on-1 handicap match, which doesn't sound logical, but in wrestling, it probably is. Next up, Kofi Kingston versus Samoa Joe. No ladder match, huh, Corey Graves? Got that one wrong. They were talking about a rumored ladder match between these two. Samoa Joe is in the mix here. So what are you going to do? Kofi Kingston, he's rumored to be beat up. I have been very happy with this title reign. If you guys remember at WrestleMania, extremely happy. On Twitter, my cover photo was Kofi Kingston still holding up the WWE Championship. It's a great moment. It meant a lot, and I was very happy to see one of my favorites from the, I don't know if you call it the mid-2000s to 2010s, win a championship. So happy for Kofi. But on the other hand, Samoa Joe is my boy, and I've been waiting for Samoa Joe to win a championship, especially a World Heavyweight Championship in this company. This could be Joe's last opportunity to do this. He's been given so many title shots, and he has not gotten the job done. Will he defeat Kofi Kingston? We'll have to wait and see. And we also have the threat for this match and the Universal match that we'll talk about in the main event of Brock Lesnar potentially cashing in to take one of these titles. Does he cash in on Kofi or Joe? Maybe. Do you really want Brock on SmackDown right away like that? Do you want Brock to carry around a title? This is all going to depend on what the future vision is going forward for a lot of these storylines. For this one, though, I'm going to predict Kofi Kingston retains the WWE Championship. I think we're going to get one more month of Kofi. Even if he faces Joe again, then I think at SummerSlam, Kofi Kingston is losing this WWE Championship. He had a great run with it, but I just felt like the company's only going to let him run till SummerSlam with it. But Kofi's done his thing, though, so give me Kofi for the win, and hopefully Joe stays strong from all of this. Next, we have the tag team match that came from out of nowhere. We have The Undertaker and Roman Reigns versus Shane McMahon and Drew McIntyre. Where do we start talking about these four? Let's start with Shane. Shane McMahon has been getting lots of television time. Kudos to Kevin Owens for his promo on SmackDown, too, about that. I thought he did a really good job in trying to have his moment and speak towards what the fans have been thinking a little bit about Shane. Shane, he's been killing it on TV. Like, you don't want to see Shane out there, like, at all. It's kind of like channel changing almost. But at the same token, I understand why potentially. Anytime I'm watching Raw with my friends who are casual fans, when Shane McMahon pops up, they go, "Oh, that's Shane McMahon." And then they start reminiscing about the Attitude Era and who Shane McMahon is. So maybe that's part of the reason why he's on TV so much. I don't know. And then we also have Drew McIntyre, a future world champion, in my opinion. I really feel like at SummerSlam, it's his time to take one of these belts. I predict the Universal from a while back, but I think Drew's alliance with Shane has brought him back up, and he hasn't really been tagging with someone who isn't getting the job done. No offense to Ziggler or anybody else, but this has elevated Drew a little bit and brought him back to that upper mid-card status that he needed to be in. The Undertaker, he's kind of trying to erase all of the bad thoughts with Goldberg. Happy to see him back. He's better off in a tag match, I feel, too, so hopefully this works. And Roman Reigns, he's just here, man. He hasn't really been pushed hard. I don't know why a lot of people are complaining, besides the fact that he's like Mr. Wildcard Rule. But who wins this matchup? I feel like this feud needs to end here. Give it to Roman Reigns and The Undertaker and just let it be. If anything, if you're going to do Drew McIntyre versus The Undertaker at SummerSlam, then set it up here and have Drew defeat The Undertaker. But if not, I can see them letting this ride and letting The Undertaker and Roman get the win over Shane and Drew. But I think we're going to see some wild stunts in this match. Obviously, Shane's going through a table. Same with Roman probably at one point, or Taker. We're going to see a lot of different things in this match, but Undertaker, Roman for the win. And last but not least, the main event. It is a mixed tag match. What? Yeah, I know. Winner take all. So the Universal Championship and the Raw Women's Championship are on the line. And if Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans lose, they are not getting another title shot for a little bit. So Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch, the man and the man's man, whatever the hell that means, are taking on Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans. Look, I'm not even going to joke around. I'm not even going to play around about this. Seth Rollins, Becky Lynch win this no matter what. Like, I don't care. You can't give the belt to Baron Corbin, and you damn sure can't give the belt to Lacey Evans. People will be pissed. If you do it, Lesnar needs to cash in. People will want Lesnar to cash in. He'll get cheered. But give me Seth and Becky for the dub here. And I don't know. I don't know what happens, because does Heyman start tomorrow? Has Heyman been writing stuff? Nobody really seems to know what's going on with all of this. But Extreme Rules seems like it is the kind of final punch point of, okay, this is where we wrote up with all of our stuff to. What do you guys want to add to it? Rumor has it Bischoff starts next week. Maybe Heyman starts next week as well. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do for SummerSlam. I'm hoping for a big show, maybe some new plans for WrestleMania. I just want these shows to be better, man. That's it. I want to enjoy WWE like I used to, and hopefully they can find some way to recreate that magic. I'm taking the wait and see approach. WWE has lost all trust. I do not give them the benefit of the doubt like I would in NXT, in AEW, in MLW, Impact even. They are out of benefits of the trust. So you need to deliver now for a while consistently so I can believe in you again. Folks, that will be the end of this episode of the podcast. I'm interested to hear from you guys. What do you think of the shows? As I said, my plan is to right now do a review for Extreme Rules after the event and AEW Fight for the Fallen. If anything happens to where those reviews don't happen, it probably means that my wife is having our baby. It could happen at any day now. So if I miss anything, I apologize now. I'm going to probably say that on every show I do until it happens. I know that it's not supposed to be for a couple more weeks, but it can happen at any time now. I promise you. So with that being said, guys, thank you for listening to Everything Pro Wrestling. Make sure you guys check out Brainbuster Radio. I will be on Brainbuster Radio this Saturday with a Bash at the Beach review for 1996, revisiting the formation of the NWO. It's going to be too sweet, man. But we're out of here for right now. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Peace.